welcome back to my channel. Before we get into what you just saw, which was, by the way, my 60-something-year-old mother sending, and before we get into this, and this, here's a quick recap on last time. I broke my toe on May 19th by running into a door inside my own apartment. This meant that I couldn't walk in the beginning, couldn't put on a regular shoe, and certainly couldn't rock climb. That led to a month of me training like an absolute animal, trying to turn this stupid little toe break into an opportunity for gains. And I was making pretty good progress. But then, disaster struck for a second time.
I am sick.
And this is where I left you last time. Now, for the sake of entertainment, we're mostly going to fast forward through this.
Day 5, still sick, still inside, still lying down. Hopefully, by the time I'm better from this, my toe will be better. That would be sick. I am finally starting to feel like an actual human again. Hopefully, I can actually even climb soon with the toe. Let's check this out. I got shoes on, baby. Ow.
The very next day, I took myself to REI to see if I couldn't get my swollen, broken foot into a big, flat, lace-up shoe.
Today has been a pretty good day. Got a shoe that I could get my foot in, and I'm gonna try and climb at the gym tomorrow. I'm very excited.
This was exactly 4 weeks and 5 days since I broke my toe, and 8 days since getting really sick. And it was a success. I could climb again, albeit with a lot of pain, a hacking cough, and very reduced abilities. But damn did it feel good. I worked my way up from V0, that climb you just saw, to about V3 without too much difficulty. But you can see that I'm definitely rusty. I'm climbing really slowly and hesitantly, and my hips are super far away from the wall here. Obviously, the big win is that I'm even climbing at all. But for my first session in almost 5 weeks, I think it went pretty well, especially given that I couldn't really fall, along with many other broken pinky toe limitations. The highlight of the session was definitely sending this V4 slab. Is it kind of weird that I gravitated towards slab with a broken toe? Yeah, probably. But slab is my favorite and most familiar kind of climbing, so it also makes sense. I did make sure to choose climbs that had cruxes close to the ground, and did a decent amount of micro-falling. Okay. Did I mention that all of this hurt? Simply existing in a climbing shoe was pretty excruciatingly painful, and getting it on and off was definitely the worst part.
Just had my first gym sesh, 4 weeks and 6 days since I last climbed. That is a long time. It's the longest break I've had from climbing since COVID, so 4 years. My big flat shoe definitely does not perform like my regular shoes. That's okay. Now I'm going for a walk in sandals.
After a delicious meal and a rest day, it was time to put my toe to the test, outside. Today is exactly 5 weeks since I last spot climbed. I have been to the gym once in those 5 weeks. Yep, so today we're going to see basically how bad the point that I'm starting from is. It's going to be a day of suffering.
But I am very glad to be outside, and I'm wearing normal shoes and I'm walking on uneven ground.
And I'm so fast.
The only open crag in Vegas, pretty much. It's a party.
This session went way, way better than I thought it would. To my utmost surprise, I ended up sending this 11D on top rope because no falling on the broken toe. It is a route that I've done many times before and am very familiar with, but it felt like a huge win nonetheless. Here's the crux, or at least my crux, featuring some good old-fashioned try-hard. Okay, session number 2 done. My toe is insanely painful, but it actually went super well. I sent an 11D, which took me like 3 weeks to send 511 coming back from the boulder season. So I am in better shape than I thought I was, which is very sick. I thought I was going to be starting like here, but I guess I'm starting like here. And now I'm exhausted and I'm going to go watch comps. After those first couple of sessions, getting back in shape still took kind of a surprisingly long time, especially when it came to power. I sent this V5, V6 slab climb pretty quickly after coming back, but I didn't send a V5, V6 in any other style for quite a long time. It was frustrating because I worked really hard while I was out to get stronger, both in terms of my big muscle groups and also my fingers. So much hangboarding. It felt like that illness that I had kind of took all of that away. And despite being happy that I could climb again, I felt kind of defeated. But nevertheless, I persisted. Now, right in the middle of all of this, my mum came to visit from New Zealand. She's 64 years old and she started climbing at 59 and is really, really psyched on it. So even though I wasn't climbing like I wanted to be climbing yet, I could channel some of that energy into helping my mum with her climbing. So, Mum, first ever 10C on leave today. That route up there, that is the crux.
How was it? It was informative.
Yes?
Yes.
Did it go better than you thought it would?
Yes, it seemed to be relatively straightforward until I got to the crux. And then I hung around at the crux and tried various ways, and then my fingers started to get really sore because that limestone's so sharp. Yes, definitely less hard than I thought. Yeah.
So we don't need to put grades on a pedestal.
No, we don't. No, we don't. I've learned my lesson.
Everybody does that. I definitely did that.
Yeah.
There's like a point in your climbing where you realize you just have to try stuff and get on and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then if you can't do it, come back.
Yeah. But I want to work out the crux.
And we'll come back on the weekend and you can work it out.
Yeah. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Maybe this is the way you're meant to come up. Session 4. In between taking Mum out and the weekend, I got a gym session in which I sent this mini prog. The climb itself is probably like a V4, but it has a big jump move in the middle and I wasn't willing to biff that and land awkwardly on my foot, so I had to do this whole workaround beta at the start. For some reason, breaking the beta was very satisfying and it took me a couple of sessions to send it. It was a good marker of my getting back in shape. V4 in the gym is definitely something that I would normally expect to flash, so getting back to feeling proficient felt good. And my beta break probably made it harder. Also, my gym hosted this super sick blacklight comp that I obviously couldn't compete in, but I went to watch and support and hang out and it was pretty freaking cool. Check it out.
Dude, I couldn't do the underplane.
Okay, back to Mum. We went back to the crag on the weekend as planned, and I went up Mum's route to try and help her with crux beta. We figured out something that would work for her, and she rehearsed it a few times. Then, after a very forced rest, in which I made her take a half-an-hour break and eat some lunch, she got back on for the Senko. This is her pulling the crux. She executed her beta perfectly and managed to get the send, her first 10C, or 10B for that matter. Mum hadn't really tried an outdoor route more than once or twice, and she was pretty amazed at what beta can do. I'm always trying to convince her to get on hard things, and then get back on them to have this sort of experience. She didn't believe that she could send 10C, because she'd never tried.
Hopefully.
And I think that this is pretty relatable. I didn't think that I could send 512 until I tried literally one and sent it the next session. It's a good reminder for everybody that we can create these huge limitations for ourselves based on absolutely no fact. And I think that's prevalent all throughout the grades of climbing. But you don't really know until you actually try. So try, if you haven't. My mum couldn't believe that she had sent this climb.
Oh my god!
Hey, take! Yeah!
I can't believe it!
Congrats!
Nice.
Oh my god!
See, all you had to do was believe that it was possible.
Jesus!
Yeah.
Getting on the 12D next?
Yeah, sure.
After you, Ivan.
Oh wow!
She sent.
She did.
Happy?
Very, yeah. Yes, all in the head. A lot of it's in the head, yeah. Most of it was in the head, yeah.
Is it a harder grade than anything you thought was possible?
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, oh, it's great. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Several days later.
Dude, got it in. First time. Really, really hurts. Ow. 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 Gonna see if I can climb in it. I could not climb in it, but it was a huge step in the right direction. Pun intended. I did manage to climb in my right foot trad shoe though, which, despite also being very flat, was at least the correct size. And I managed to climb something horizontal for the first time since toe. This was one of the climbs from the comp, with a pretty interesting finish. You'll see. Although I'm pretty sure I didn't do it in the intended way. I believe most people choose to face out here, but hey, this worked too.
Oops. Don't know if I'm getting my security deposit back. Today's warm-up instead.
Okay, so at this stage I have the newfound ability to climb in a correctly sized climbing shoe. Not a bouldering shoe or a high-performing shoe in any way, but a correctly sized shoe nonetheless. So, what's the next logical step? A hard slab project, obviously.
Right foot.
Okay, this route wasn't the best choice. Or at least not the easiest or most sensical one. But it looked so sick, and I felt inspired by it after a long period of just grinding out the training. So I kept going, because I needed some fun.
Is this Haley's? I've definitely said stuff and have been Oh my god.
And for me, that's slab. You don't have to agree. I felt like the route would be quite doable once I could get a regular shoe on again.
And I wanted to figure out all of my beta and kind of get stuck into it so I'd be ready for when that happened.
And...
What?
Yep, exactly 7 weeks and 3 days since I broke my toe, I got my foot into a regular climbing shoe and, more importantly, I could actually climb in it. As in, it wasn't so excruciatingly painful that I had to immediately take it off, though it was still very, very, very painful.
Gotta go. So much swelling.
I still had to wait days in between sessions climbing in a regular shoe, just to allow my foot a little bit of time to recover. So after some of these, and these, and these, I got to get back on my climb into regular climbing shoes. Here's me trying the Crux for the first time in regular shoes. I got it in 2 parts this session, which was pretty promising. There are 2 more Cruxes on this route higher up, but this is definitely the hardest one. That is the question, indeed, and you'll have to wait for the next video to find out what I do.
Good.
You'll also see me go on a van trip to Tensley, Wyoming to go sport climbing, and the chaos that ensues there.
Okay, go.
And if you've noticed, that's also why it's been a little while since I posted a video. It's hard to edit and put out video when you're also on a climbing trip and living the rest of your life. But I'm back in Vegas now, so the next video definitely won't take as long to come out. If you liked this one, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. It really helps. And thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.